Now on News Channel 8.
Lady Luck was nowhere to be found. Investigators say people were gambling but not winning at this illegal Polk County arcade.
Attacking a teenager's bad, but bragging about it to the world is even worse. Now pictures on MySpace could lead to some serious charges.
And millions of people are sweating it out tonight, watching and worrying about flames that just keep growing in Southern California.
Live from the News Center on MyTV Tampa Bay. This is News Channel 8 on your side at 10.
Good evening, I'm Peter Bernard.
I'm Katie Coronado. Thank you for joining us. We'll get to tonight's top stories in just a moment, but first we begin with a look at the weather. Storm Team 8 Chief Meteorologist Steve Jervey joins us from the Forecast Center. Steve?
Well, certainly, again, temperatures were quite warm, 90 degrees at Tampa International. It looks like tomorrow, too, will be a warm day. Starting out mild, these temperatures overnight in some spots running close to 10 degrees above our average levels. And the warm trend, as I said, will carry on. We'll start at 75 degrees, warm and muggy. Certainly, we'll feel it out tonight with our dew points running in the low 70s. And throughout the weekend, too, we felt that. Not much relief in terms of cooler temperatures. The clouds and the rain did make it a little more reasonable this weekend. A look at the latest satellite picture. Way back to the west, an approaching trough is making it quite wet across parts of the Panhandle. In fact, that red box is actually a tornado watch in effect, where the upper level winds are just a little bit stronger. But we're under high pressure and quieter, and that area of a low pressure and trough are going to make its way a little further to the east, but it doesn't look as though it'll have much impact on our weather. Local radar pictures showing a few scattered showers rolling off to the west and very light at this point offshore, just offshore of Hernando County and also in Pinellas County, but that's about it. Just isolated showers in the forecast and the forecast for tomorrow too, guys. Back to you.
All right, we'll check back with you in a few minutes.
A South Lakeland business is just an empty storefront tonight after Polk County deputies conducted a raid on what's being called an illegal house of gambling. The Palms Redemption Arcade is on South Florida Avenue, a few miles south of the Polk Parkway. Polk deputies hauled away 50 electronic gaming machines. Sheriff Grady Judd says customers would purchase cards to use in the machines with the promise winnings would come in the form of Visa gift cards. The sheriff suspects nobody won a gift card. Arrested in connection with the arcade are Janet and Joseph Bumigman. Their son says both are honest, retired people who just wanted to make some extra money. But the sheriff says a phone call to his office would have confirmed the machines are illegal.
Doesn't it resonate with these folks that when they have the only operation of its kind in the entire county, that they weren't the ones that invented this idea? There must be some reason there's no others in the county. And after today, there won't be any again.
Sheriff Judd says the machines will eventually be destroyed. He believes there are others involved in the operation beyond the couple arrested today. The Palm Arcade had only been open a few months.
Police paid little attention to a teenage girl attacked by a group of fellow students in Bradenton until a picture of the fight landed on a MySpace website. Now the desire to brag about the attack might lead to charges. That story tops off our look at tonight's big news.
I'm Jackie Barron in Bradenton, where police consider this picture evidence of a beating. The victim, a 17-year-old Manatee High student. The attackers, girls from her school. One of them posted the picture on the popular MySpace website, bragging about leaving Megan Van Wagner with a concussion. Megan called 911, but the girls showed up at GT Bray Park before police did.
One girl jumped on top of me and we were on the ground. She was punching me in the face. Another girl had kicked me in the head over and over.
Megan's mother, Angel Van Wagner, says the police department did little until she complained. Then detectives took a look at the MySpace photo and landed confessions.
And it's going to keep going until someone says enough.
The case now sits in the hands of the state attorney's office.
I'm Samara Sotis in South Tampa, where the digging has finally ended behind a home here on Vasconia Street. For 5 days, crews drilled into the dirt, probing for any evidence that indicates a dead body was buried here. Diggers tore through the backyard of the two-story rental house which sits on Vasconia Street in an upscale South Tampa neighborhood. The home was built by the boyfriend of Sandra Prince nearly 2 years ago, at the time she vanished from her Temple Terrace home. In total, police collected 59 soil samples.
Once we accumulate all of those, they'll be sent to various labs for analysis.
As if things couldn't get any worse for the renters living in this home, today diggers accidentally hit piping for the air conditioning system, prompting AC repairmen to join the group of workers on scene. The owners of the home also showed up to check out the situation and spoke with police about the status of the dig.
I'm Yolanda Fernandez in Pinellas County, where deputies are trying to determine what happened to a man who boarded a plane from TIA to Charlotte with 3 gunshot wounds.
Investigators spent the morning looking for clues in this dumpster at the Windermere Apartments in Dunedin. William Notaro claims he was at a card game at one of these apartments when a woman shot him 3 times about 3 a.m. Saturday. Later Saturday evening, he boarded a plane to Albany but had to get medical attention in Charlotte. Deputies say Notaro's story and witnesses they talked to don't add up. Even the 115 Bel Air Place address in Clearwater he gave authorities isn't valid. A manager says he moved out several months ago. At this point, investigators even question whether Notaro's injuries were from a gun.
We checked William Notaro's background and did not find any evidence of criminal history. And the kindness of strangers may lead investigators to a pet killer. Police say someone stabbed and mutilated 2 baby piglets in Plant City over the weekend. An anonymous donor is offering a reward to anyone who provides information leading to an arrest. Owner Judy Johnson and her husband already offered a reward to find the culprits. She says they'll match the amount of this anonymous donor.
Tonight, Manatee County School Board tackled the question of skin and who's allowed to show it at football games. School officials tossed out 17-year-olds Jessica Altenbach and Monica Cummings out of Manatee High School's homecoming football game after people complained about their attire of bikinis and body paint. Tonight, both girls came to the school board meeting saying the dress code, which forbids beach wear at athletic games, is sexist. Board members said they had no plans on changing the dress code, but would clarify the principal's role in enforcing it. Tomorrow morning, the Pinellas School Board will hear the latest plan to return to neighborhood schools. At least one board member worries some schools will become all black, just like they were before desegregation. Reporter Mark Douglas tells us a private school in St. Petersburg already operates that way.
The Academy Prep Center of St. Petersburg has spent 10 years dispelling the notion that all black somehow means all bad when it comes to education.
I don't believe that education has a race. Given the opportunity, the time, the care, anyone can succeed, and our students are doing that.
Academy Prep spends 60% more per student than public schools, helping kids from challenging backgrounds succeed. The Academy teaches 74 students in smaller classes, 11 hours a day, 11 months of the year. Because of its selectivity and expense, Academy Prep is not a model that public schools can easily follow. But it does show that academic success is possible, regardless of racial balance. In St. Petersburg, I'm Mark Douglas, News Channel 8.
Tomorrow, the Pinellas School Board will discuss the controversial student assignment plan that could mean a return to some all-black schools.
This evening, Governor Charlie Crist is trying to salvage a property tax compromise between the House and the Senate, but in a news conference, he made it clear that the 2 chambers are not seeing eye to eye. The House and Senate are involved in a high-stakes game of chicken. The Senate passed property tax reform legislation last week and went home only to have the House meet and make significant changes to the agreed-upon legislation. Now the Senate is suggesting they won't be returning to consider the House's plan.
I think that what we need to do is be calm and be responsible and make sure that we keep an open mind as it relates to what these proposals might be. As I've said and articulated before, I think the Senate plan is very good. It's hard to not look at an $11 billion tax cut and not have a big smile on your face.
They have until October 29th to work out a deal if they want to put a tax-cutting measure on the ballot in January.
Now tonight's Decision 2008 coverage. Tonight, Republican Party leaders are threatening the state GOP, saying push back the early presidential primary or lose half the party's delegates. The threat may sound familiar. The National Democratic Party did the same thing, only it stripped the state of all its delegates. If the National Party punishment comes to fruition, Florida voters will have almost no say in nominating either the 2008 presidential candidates. So far, Rudy Giuliani holds a slight lead for the Republican nomination here in Florida. If Giuliani ends up being the GOP's guy, could Charlie Crist be his running mate? That was the buzz this weekend at the state Republican convention in Orlando. Here's News Channel 8 political reporter Krista Claus.
Great things. From the beautiful city of Orlando, Florida, welcome to the debate.
As Governor Charlie Crist played host to state Republicans and their national candidates over the weekend, speculation swirled over the prospect of Rudy Giuliani tapping Crist as his running mate in '08.
What do you think about Charlie Crist as a running mate?
I think that would be a terrific combination.
But Crist deflected questions about a possible VP nod.
All this buzz about you as a potential running mate if Giuliani were to get the nomination. What do you have to say about that?
I'm very happy to be the governor of the greatest state in the nation.
The freshman governor is avoiding any talk that might focus his attention away from Florida, preferring instead to watch his state strut its stuff on the national stage. Krista Claus, News Channel 8.
Polls show Giuliani holding a single-digit lead over his Republican opponents in Florida. Right now, the presidential primary is set for January 29th.